All right, everyone, a good time had by all. Nancy Pelosi is skipping out on the Trump inauguration that happens in only 3 days. I have to get a year older on that day, but at least I get to see sanity return to DC. Well, relative sanity. So I'm going to have a really, really good birthday this year. And then there's the planetary alignment that's happening. I'll be talking about that later in the live stream, by the way. Nancy Pelosi is just as sour grapes as Joe Biden. The funny part is the Pelosi crowd backstabs Joe Biden. Biden backstabs the Harris crowd. And none of these people, I guess, are going to the inauguration. They're just, they're very, very salty about what happened. It's funny because in 2016, of course, all of these individuals, and Michelle Obama's not showing up either, Mike Obama to some of you, they said, well, Trump, there's no possibility of him winning. And he won. Then you have the lockdowns, of course, the lockdown election. And inexplicably, Joe Biden gets, 10 million more votes than he should have. It's very, very interesting. In just the right places, by the way. Now, Donald Trump is returning to office. He has won the election fair and square. Liberals are going to and whine and go crazy over it. I expect that Inauguration Day is going to be quite fucking something. Donald Trump can't run again, so he no longer gives any shits. He's going to have a garbage truck at the inauguration. Again, I think that he should fill it full of French fry packs and toss him out to the crowd or something like that. Because it would be absolutely hysterical. And if he does that, I'm going to die laughing. We're going to do an inauguration stream on the Quartercast. By the way, you can tune in there. I think it's at noon. So I'll do my own stream probably a little bit early on January 20th. I probably won't make my mains that day. I'll just do a stream. Or maybe I'll just do the mains and not do a stream. But I will definitely be on the Quartercast. So you should sign up as a member there, by the way, as well. Nancy Pelosi skipping the inauguration. Who would want her to show up anyway? At this point, she's so loaded all of the time and so clearly suffering from the same kind of cognitive decline as Joe Biden that it doesn't really matter if she shows up. She's a has-been in politics. She's been in there for, 40 years or some crazy shit like that. She's going Strom Thurmond mode. And she's running for re-election. And she'll probably win, because her district happens to be heavily liberal. It's entirely possible that we're going to see an exceptionally geriatric Nancy Pelosi continue to be part of the clutter of Congress. That should be a term, by the way, clutter of Congress, for all of the geriatric people that are there. I'm not saying that there should be an age test for people in Congress, and I don't even believe in term limits, by the way. But when you get to the point where you're clearly demented, and you're reliant on amphetamines and shit like that to even function, might be a little bit of a problem. There's some congressional cluttering going on. Nancy Pelosi is definitely part of it. So too, by the way, is Mitch McConnell. He's standing down from his leadership role, but I think he hasn't said, whether he plans to run again. He might very well do so. He's going to be 92 fucking years old. He's going to be all fucked up, and he's still going to be representing his state. It makes absolutely no sense at some point. I'm not surprised that Pelosi would be sour grapes about it, though. She's been knocked off her pedestal. She is never going to be House Speaker again. Hakeem Jeffries has a better chance of that happening, actually, come the midterms. That's assuming that Pelosi's even in office. It's assuming she's reelected. She's sour grapes because I think she has a genuine dislike for two groups of people that still have sway within D.C. The Trump populist side and the left. I think that she blames the left for the loss of the election. I think she also blames Joe Biden, and she's bitter. So she's a bitter woman. By the way, if you look up the Life Alert Bitter Woman commercial, that's pretty funny. Well, if there's no one there for you, my family wasn't. Life Alert was there for me. It was pretty on the nose, so I think somebody had some familial issues. I saw that back in the day. It was hysterical. So Pelosi's skipping the inauguration. But nobody wanted to see her there anyway. You think that Trump is going to personally invite her and say, oh man, you should show up, it's going to be a great party. No, he's just going to toss a bag of French fries at her and laugh. That would be hysterical too. From Trump, honestly, I wouldn't even be particularly surprised if something like that happened. Now, he'll take office. The liberals will be bitter. They'll get over it. Don't worry. I mean, Pelosi she'll soothe herself. She'll go and drink a couple of boxes of Chardonnay. She'll feel a little bit better, and then she'll eventually get over it. She's going to have no choice but to reconnoiter with her fellow Democrats. They're going to have to negotiate with the Republicans because they still control the House, albeit narrowly. This is a problem for Trump, actually, by the way, because some of them are uni-partyists. But she's just being sour grapes about it. She's being a bitch, basically. The same as I wouldn't even be surprised if somebody like Mitch McConnell decided not to show up for the inauguration. Now, but they would have to make some sort of excuse. Well, I'm in the hospital. You know, my hands are all blackened and bruised like they were before, you know, and I fell down. I broke my hip. And Mitch McConnell throws himself down the stairs in order to avoid having to go to the inauguration. Wouldn't that be funny? I wouldn't put it past him. Again, these people are rather formulaic. Politicians are kind of formulaic when you think about it. The way in which they act, you can expect them to backstab each other. You can expect them to have the court intrigue thing going on. And then you can expect the sour grapes. Part of it is partisan, but it's not fully partisan. Like Nancy Pelosi, if it were a Bush that were being inaugurated, she would go to the inauguration. She wouldn't have any problem with it because she's like, okay, you know, after the inauguration, we're going to go snort coke and drink together. With Donald Trump, he wants to actually break the toys, is not part of that uni-party, and so he doesn't get along even with certain members of his own party. So it makes perfect sense that she wouldn't want to see him inaugurated because it disgusts her. It's like, oh my God, a president that's probably not going to start a major war that I can profiteer off of with insider trading? Oh my God, what a terrible time. I'm going to lose money on this. That's really all she cares about. It's never been about representing the people of her district. It's never been about anything but her own ego, the power of being the speaker, and the money. You know, with her $10,000 refrigerators filled with ice cream that probably costs like $10 a bite. That's all it's ever been about with Nancy Pelosi. That's about all. Peace out.